Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing very well. Okay, I'm currently in LA. I'm here with my mom because we are taking a little week in LA before we go back to New York and I do my final ever show in America on July 11th. We are almost sold out. It is insane. We've sold out VIPs, we've sold out meet and greets, and I think we only have like 20 general admission left. So if you want to come, it's going to be my final show in America before I leave. And then I'm probably just going to move back to Brighton. Honestly, at this stage, it's between Brighton and Paris. But if I go to Brighton, I get to bring my dogs. We've been having a lot of fun in LA. I don't know if anyone saw my post though, but literally like 2 days ago in WeHo, I got mugged and they stole my phone. So I was without a phone for a little bit, hence the silence. But I can confirm that I went out and got a new phone, unfortunately, because even after all the tracking in the world, it turns out that they threw my phone in the bin and it got destroyed. So that wasn't the greatest, but we've been having a time in LA. Now, I want to talk about something that has came to my attention, and I wasn't going to film a video tonight, but I really want to talk about it because I think that there's something that I want to highlight with it. I'm going to be talking about my snark today, okay? So, obviously, like every other creator, I have a snark. There's a snark on me on Reddit, and, you know, they talk about things they don't like or whatever. And I've always been on the wavelength that whenever it comes to snarks, I always feel like I don't want to comment too much on it because you could argue commentary can be snark. You could argue anything could be snark, right? So it's like, who am I to dictate that I can talk about people, but people can't, talk about me, right? So I've always held this, and I still do. I think that there can come a part where it goes into territory that is borderline illegal, and something has happened on my snark within the last couple days that I was a little bit silent on, and I wasn't considering making a video on because I have launched an investigation into it because it has tread the line now. But basically, my snark have reported me to ICE. Okay? Yes, that is a real sentence I just said. My snark have reported me to ICE, as in ICE in America. Uh-huh. And I really want to talk about it. And I've been advised not to talk about it because of what we're doing. But I really want to talk about it because I think it's really important to kind of show that people are now weaponizing ICE in a way that's just like against creators they don't like. Okay? So, quick summary. I have been in America since February, on and off. I did shows in London, so I went back to London, and then I was traveling back home to see my dogs, and then I went to Japan. So, I've kind of been in and out of America since February. That was when my work visa started. And my work visa expires at the end of July, hence why I'm doing my New York show, and then I'm practically just packing up and leaving America because my work visa's up. So, when I look at my passport right now, I have, and I can see my stamp, I have an O1 work visa. Now, this visa was very difficult to get, and I got it through the tour that I was doing with the tour company I was, working with at the time because we were considering adding extra shows and stuff. So we basically got it from January until August, right? Just to kind of allow if we were going to add extra shows or whatever. And I want to confirm that I paid for my entire work visa, and I paid for all of the legal of my work visa, and it was a very long and very expensive process. However, for me to do the Chronically Online tour and do my New York show in a way where I was being fully documenting everything to do with tax or documenting everything to do with when I was in America, how much money I was making in America, how much I was making the economy, the work visa seemed like the method that I wanted to move forward with. Now, I know that there are a lot of people that will come into America and they will work without a work visa, but that was just not part of my journey because I just didn't want to do anything wrong. And specifically with the time that I was starting the Chronically Online tour, it was when the Trump administration were really taking over. So, of course, it was a no-brainer that I wanted to make sure that there was, I had all of my proper visas or whatever in case the tour would get canceled and then it would be my fault for not having the right one, right? It was a long process. It was an expensive process. And if you have followed me on social media, I talked about that at length. I was flying back and forth from the Dublin, USA embassy every weekend doing interviews and stuff like that because an O1 work visa is really hard to get. this is it right here. It basically is a visa for extraordinary abilities. And it has a lot to do with like motion picture and everything to do with the arts and the creative field. Now, it is very hard to prove that your extraordinary ability in an O1 visa in general. It's even harder to do that when you are a YouTuber. However, the way with the plentiful of documents that we had to provide to the government, it basically was news articles, the fact that the show's first leg when we had applied for the visa was I think 5 shows, and we sold out 3 of them, or maybe 4 of them, on first leg. So we were able to show that there was a reason that I was coming into America. So obviously we ended up getting approved for the visa. I want to clarify that, right? Now also, aside from doing YouTube, which you make money doing, which if I'm filming out here, then you're classic, you're working, we had Brooklyn, Chicago, Seattle, Los Angeles, Dallas, Nashville, Philly, Washington, D.C., Boston, Minneapolis, Detroit, but Chicago for a second time, Orlando, Houston, Atlanta, Phoenix, Vegas, San Diego, San Francisco. We had just that on one stretch of work, right? Which we had to provide. And then also my New York show, which is July 11th, which is the last piece of work that I'm doing in America before giving up my work visa. That was my schedule, right? Now, on my snark, they posted a photo that I had posted of my visa showing that I got the O1 work visa right here, type class O1 work visa, which is this visa that you use. They posted this and a lot of people were sending it to me and I had no idea what was wrong here. And then a quick scroll down shows that these people on my snark are actively excited about the fact that they are reporting me to the American Immigrant and Customs Enforcement, ICE. Literally, we have people on my snark that are posting the only time I won't say fuck ICE, and they're showing that they are reporting me to ICE. Now, there's a big conversation that's going on here. The first one being that they are saying that I am on a religious work visa because they can't read clearly. And they're seeing the R instead of the O1 visa, which again, the O1 visa, please, people, we need to read. There is an entire thread on here about how they are analyzing that I am on an R1 non-immigrant visa that is for religious organizations to perform religious duties. Now, people, we have got to use a little bit of common sense here to know that that is not the visa that I am under. However, there is an entire thread where people have spent 11 days dissecting my visa, incorrectly, by the way, implying that I'm here on religious activities, which number 1 isn't true. But number 2 has now started this movement where they are all reporting me to ICE. Now, I just want to clarify one thing, which is that ICE are targeting and kidnapping from the Hispanic and Latino communities around America, okay? And my snark are choosing to further engage with that organization of ICE, which are kidnapping Americans all around America. They decided to continue supporting ICE by reporting me to ICE. And there's multiple of them on this thread that have admitted that they have put in an application towards ICE to do something to me, okay? But again, I want to clarify that these people are supporting the ICE organization that is genuinely just fucking kidnapping from so many different communities around America, specifically targeting the Latino and Hispanic communities. And there's something really troubling to me, right? And again, I've said time and time again that when it comes to snark, I pretty much will put my hands up and kind of just allow people to do whatever they're doing, because again, I don't want to criticize how people talk about people, even if that is me, because then who am I to judge? Because I talk about people on my YouTube. But I think that there's something truly, truly, truly disgusting about weaponizing ICE against people. I think that there's something so disgusting about that. And I think the audacity to have an entire snark dedicated to how I, Adam McIntyre, am a bad person, while you in your communities are joining forces, supporting ICE, giving them information, first of all, that's incorrect, but just further supporting ICE. And now, again, I've talked about this on my YouTube before, and I will always talk about it on my Instagram, and I just think it's important to continue talking about what is happening in America right now. And also, just being fully transparent with you, it has been a risk for me to be talking about ICE, to be talking about Palestine, while I have been here on a work visa. Because yes, I could have immediately gotten my visa, taken off me, and that is something that can happen. Because we are seeing people be denied visas, even if they're going through routes of trying to get a visa into United States. We are seeing that they are being denied whenever the officials or government are looking through their social medias or looking through their phones. And we literally saw a couple days ago, a tourist was denied entry to the States because he had a JD Vance bald meme on his phone. So yes, while I have been speaking out about ICE and the deportations and also everything that was going on and is still going on with the genocide in Palestine, I always knew that there was a risk. I always knew that there was a risk. And I knew that that could have meant that the tour could have been canceled. My New York show could have been canceled. I knew that that could have gotten me arrested. I knew that that could have gotten me banned from America. This is not a wild scenario. This is actually what's going on right now, okay? But still, I chose that it was more important for me to speak out about things that I truly believe in. And morally, I just had to, right? And I will continue to. For as long as I am still in America, which at this stage, I literally, my visa's almost up. So I'm leaving after my New York show anyways. Now, while I knew that there was that risk there, I never, ever, ever once thought that it would be people within the YouTube community that would be the ones trying to report me doing that. That's what's troubling to me. But again, I cannot stress enough. If you support ICE, fuck you. Whether you're on my snark, a different snark, whether you're in my comment section, a different comment section, whether you tweet me, whether you comment on my YouTube, whether you engage with me in some way. Number one, if you support ICE, you are truly not someone that I ever, ever, ever want to deal with. I think you're evil. I think you're incredibly backwards, and I think you're inhumane, if I'm being quite honest. And I don't know if there's a way to look at what's going on right now and not feel that way. But number two, the fact that there are communities online, which again, I also want to clarify that it was not that long ago that I was in meetings with managers who brought up snarks to me and said, oh, we worked with XYZ creator and we were easily able to get snarks taken down for harassment, terms of service, and also copyright if they upload your things. And I have always said, please don't do anything because I don't want to be a hypocrite. I remember specifically during the Colleen of it all a couple years ago, that was when it was at its peak. And these people were uploading a lot of my clips. And I had people coming to me saying, do you want this page taken down? They're infringing your copyright. And I always said, and everyone around me can confirm me on this, I always said no, because then I'm being a hypocrite. And again, to other posts on this page, fine. That is, I'm not holding you to that. I'm not holding you to that at all. But the fact that there is an entire conversation that's been going on for almost 2 weeks now where people are gleefully, incorrectly by the way, reporting me to ICE. Again, ICE that is tearing and breaking families apart, is kidnapping people just on the street. But yet people hate me so much that they're incorrectly, by the way, reading my visa when they should be reading over here, by the way, and see that it's an actual visa that is a work visa, that's a temporary work visa, by the way. The fact that they're doing that and gleefully dissecting, saying, well, why is he here on a religious visa? Which I'm not. And then they're questioning the United States Immigration Department. Then they're saying that they're emailing and reaching out to the United States government for clarification on what visa that I'm on, because I need to be kicked out of America. So they're still going. They're like, there's a full conversation going on, right? And also, I was the one that posted that photo of my visa. So the fact that they're also acting like there was something that was leaked, I posted that to show that I finally got the O1 visa because, again, it took a goddamn long time and a lot of money. If I'm being completely honest with you, the work visa, I'm pretty sure, cost me like $12,000 because we applied for it after the shows were announced, so we had to speed that process up. And again, all of my money, all of my legal fees, I was the one that chose to do the work visa. I'm the one that paid for the work visa myself. And let me tell you something. It was genuinely about 11 or 12,000 for the speeding up the process and all of the legal fees. So that is a whole other conversation, right? But these people are genuinely so ignorant that, first of all, I love this. They're not even asking Google. They're asking ChatGPT. They're asking ChatGPT. I think that really sums up these people, right? We're not even Googling at this stage. We're using ChatGPT. Amazing. I asked ChatGPT so many questions. We need you to go back to school. We need you to go back to school. So they're saying, does homie know if he's religious or not? Because they're saying, hasn't he spoken in the past about not being religious? I'm not on a religious work visa. I don't even know if that's a thing. So they are dissecting sponsors and how it would work if the tour company sponsored me. They're saying, how does it work with me paying my taxes? They're saying work outside of the US. I really, really, really don't understand this. And again, we have these people dissecting the eligibility, the removal process, the in admission, these people are now trying to work together to get my visa removed, get me banned from the United States, maybe get me relocated to a different country and make it so that I can never get a visa again because I false claimed. And then they're going on talking about me, about the possibility of there being a deportation process for me, a detection process if they started going through all my database checks, interviews, site visits, because they read my visa wrong, okay? And again, cannot clarify enough, these people on my snark are gleefully supporting ICE and are contributing to the growing of ICE by giving them information, wrong or not. And I want people to know the reason that I'm making this video specifically is I have said that in the past about, I kind of have this approach where I put my hands up when it comes to snark because I don't want to be seen as a hypocrite. A lot of people have been sending me this from my own community and being like, Adam, you need to say something about this because your name is attached to this snark, right? And I believe it now. Like, I see it. I want to make a statement here. If anyone ever goes over to the Adam McIntyre snark, I want you to know that I do not stand behind people supporting ICE. I do not stand behind people in any ways calling for people to be deported, to be detained, to be arrested, to be relocated. I think these people are sick for this, the ones that are doing this. I think it is incredibly dangerous. And again, I just want everyone to know that I've been very outspoken about how against ICE I am. And whenever this is now attached with my name, even more so I need to double down. I'm not the one that gets affected by this. And I don't know if the people that are doing this know that. I am not the target of ICE, but the more that you try to make me the target of ICE, the more you support ICE kidnapping and deporting from the Hispanic, the Latino community. And when do you call it as too much? When are you crossing a line? And again, I do just want to clarify now that for people that have been posting on my snark about reporting me to ICE or whatever like that, we literally have documented everything, and we have been over the last 11 days. We've also really gone through some other things that have been highly illegal that have been posted on here. We've compiled them, and honestly, snark is one thing for me. Again, I'm not a hypocrite here. I know that people online have said I support snark and all like this. My place is, who am I to say whether it exists or not, right? Okay? I've referenced it. I've read from it. Please, I still stand by that. But what I'm saying is, when you cross a line that is illegal, things need to be done about it. And unfortunately, I am having to do that now. So, again, for clarification, if anyone comes across this page and thinks that there's any endorsement from me at all, I do not support ICE at all, point blank, period. I'm getting so red because I'm so pissed off. Okay, this was not the video that I was going to film, but it was important for me to. I will see you all later. And again, if you see this attached with my name, I do not support ICE in any way, shape, or form. I'll say it now while I'm still on my work visa, and I've said it whenever I first got my work visa. There are risks with saying that, but at what stage do you prioritize your morals and other human beings more than snarking? Okay, I'm gonna go film some other videos. Again, this is not the one I wanted to film today, but I think it was incredibly important because people were aligning me with this. And this has nothing to do with me. This has nothing to do with me. I do not run this page. I'm not a moderator on this page. I don't comment on this page, but I've been seeing it. And so anyways, I will talk to you all later. I hope you're all doing very well, and goodbye.